I'm gonna do The Rock.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Right? Is that, you're gonna,
Well, Boo says this.
are you gonna, you think they want you to change the voice? I think you should now.
Yeah, right.
I want you to do The Rock now. I want you to do that. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Boo wants you to take that piece of candy, turn it sideways, polish it up real nice, and shove it straight up your
Candy rear end.
That would be perfect because the candy, oh, that would be
See?
great.
Now you're smelling what I'm cooking.
Oh. All right. What else?
Lightning round.
Okay.
My man.
You can ask us anything.
Yeah.
We'll just start asking you guys questions.
If you had Majin Buu's powers, what would you use them for?
I would turn everything into Starburst and Skittles my favorite candy. Ask Chris.
He is a Starburst guy, especially
I
Starburst.
stay with Starburst in my bag.
No,
You never know when you might need one.
that's true. I know I can always get a Starburst to Josh's room.
You know it too. I love candy too. I do love candy just like Boo, so it's kind of funny how it imitates. Yes, sir.
Okay, so since you like Starburst a lot,
Yeah.
can you open and unopen Starburst with your mouth?
Dude, that's a personal question.
That's kind of like, can you tie a cherry stem with the, you know?
Yeah, I can do
I would answer that question, but there are children in the room, and I don't want to front you in front of all these people.
I'm like, what are you doing with your Starburst, man?
All right, we got.
What do we got?
Since you like Starburst, if you could make a cartoon about your favorite Starburst, what voice would you use?
A cartoon about my favorite Starburst. Well,
What is that first?
It's the pink one.
I think that's strawberry.
Yeah, right.
That is.
No, I'd probably keep him about the same voice, a little high. Maybe he sounds like he's always eating a Starburst.
Right. I'd make him look, I'm the strawberry one. I don't like the lemons.
Eat me, I'm a strawberry starburst.
Nobody likes the orange ones.
Okay, no, I think we're going to use that one for the
The
orange.
orange ones might as well be a grape Jolly Rancher, if you know what I mean.
This one's a little more serious question, but with the devastation caused by Hurricane Harvey, has that affected recording or anything at Funimation?
I know it's affected some of the people's lives that recorded Funimation. I mean, some of the people who recorded Funimation are from Houston. There's Sentai Filmworks, or ADV, used to be Sentai's down there in the Houston area. And there's some voice actors who do live there, Greg, Chris Ayers, people like that. Monica Real has family from there, she's from there. So there is some affecting. John Swasey is from down there as well, very popular actor there. So yeah, we do know some people who have been affected or family have been affected and things like that. So we're always looking to find ways to continue to kind of help. And hopefully, I think we're hopefully doing a little charity something this weekend too. I think so. They're auctioning off all our banners to sign everything that's going to go there too. So that's good. That's good. So yeah, so a little bit, but nothing like directly.
Yeah. All right, no more questions.
What time is it?
All right, you got another
Do
one?
we have time?
He's got one. Go ahead. Y'all fight over the microphone.
Round one, fight!
Right? We'll have a death battle for the microphone.
Hey, after the GT era of recording, have you all just been called in just to voice in for the video game characters, like, Dragon Ball Z, Ultimate Team, any games that you've just been called for, like, oh hey, we need you guys to record for Hercule and Majin Buu?
All of them.
Yeah, we're in all those games. And we don't like to talk about GT too much. I don't especially. Hercule was bald, and that really, I didn't like that at all. Because I thought to myself, look, Videl didn't get that much older, right? And Hercule didn't like get that much older. Why all of a sudden did he lose all his hair? It made no sense to me. It was the dumbest thing ever. I'm still angry about it. Right?
Boo still, I like Boo. Boo stay the same. Why did Boo stay the same?
Yeah, I didn't have to do much different. I just redid it.
Yeah. There was the Oob character as well,
Me.
which
I think that
I,
was McFarlane, wasn't
was it? Mike McFarlane played Oob?
I think so.
That's weird.
For some reason.
And then
almost,
came a Jew.
Well, I do think that Akira Toriyama was interested in some of the GT characters, and Oob was one of them.
Yeah.
And I think he has, in the newest Super manga, he has mentioned Oob, which would be the reincarnation of Kid Boo.
Well, considering that
Right.
who was in the End of Z episode.
He was, Oob wasn't it? Yeah, okay, was he? Okay. So I think I guess what point I'm trying to get at is you might see, I feel like Oob is coming back in some way, that character will be a character, which would be interesting. I don't know.
In a few
Who
years.
knows? Japan doesn't tell us anything. How long do we got here? We got a couple more minutes? What do we got? 140? We got 10 more minutes of this, guys. Y'all better get into gear here. All right, here we go.
I guess my question is, what is your favorite thing about coming to these conventions? Overall, what would be your favorite?
Being away from our families.
I really do like to meet everybody. I like to meet all you guys and hear you shower praise upon me. But seriously, because like he was saying earlier, when you're in the booth, you go in and you do it, you clock in, you clock out, you go home. You never know if anybody ever watches it or gives a rip or, you know. And so when we get to come out to these things, people actually say, hey, I like you, what you did, and it's awesome. And then that is never a bad thing, believe me. And if people aren't telling you that you're good and you're awesome, then give them the old elbow and move on, because they're not worth your time. All right, so thank you all for being awesome.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause for the fans. Something I often like to hear too is, and it never gets old, is thanks for being a part of my childhood, right? Because it makes me think back to the voices that I remember when I was watching when I was a child, and I never got to meet Mel Blanc or any of the Hanna-Barbera guys or anything like that, you know? Because there wasn't a thing, there wasn't like a convention I could go to meet Mel Blanc, you know? I wish there was, because I probably had gone. So to kind of hear that and know that I've affected people the way that I was affected when I was a kid by these shows and cartoons that I enjoyed so much and mimicked and stole and made my own and did the things with. So that never gets old. Never. What do we got?
Have you ever met like the other cast, like a Japanese cast or the like a Mexican cast?
No, I've never met the Hispanic cast. I haven't met any of the Japanese cast. I've seen, some of my other fellow voice actors, your Sabbats and your Simmels definitely have met some of those guys over there. And I always hear good things, so I always like, oh man, I hope that we will be. There is guys, if you haven't heard, and you're not that far away, it's going to be in Irving, Texas, which is basically Dallas. KamehamehaCon will be taking place, I believe, next May in Dallas, Texas. It will have a majority of the English cast, and I do believe they're trying to bring as many Japanese cast out as well. So that will be the first time that I'll get to meet some of them. I think this will be probably the first time meeting of the two casts in a sizable way for the first time ever. So that should be kind of fun to kind of get to finally meet some of those guys. So I am looking forward to that. So we will finally get to meet some of them. KamehamehaCon in Irving, look it up, check it out. It's the first all Dragon Ball Z con ever put together. So come on down, come on up and over. Up and over.
Have you guys, what is your reaction when you see the
What
younger
did you
generation
How did you move?
sorry, younger generation imitating you and your characters?
We love it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery, so if anyone walks up to me and is voice, you know. I always give them a critique and let them know that I do it better. But no, it's who doesn't, you know? This guy here, first day we walked in, he's screaming like boo when we walk in, dude, you know? And that just puts a smile on your face. You're like, right on. It's already started.
Yes, this is the last question for me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no worries. Have you seen the Team 4-star Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Yes. Yes. Big fan. Big fan.
Yes.
Those guys are great, very talented, very funny. They go through some painstaking efforts to bring you that show. And I think that over the years, it's only gotten better, to be honest. So I've enjoyed them quite a bit. And I just finally now gotten to the point where they did some Hercule Mr. Satan on there. And I begged them, because their studio literally is right up the street from me. Like, I live in Carrollton, Texas, and they live like, it's less than half a mile up the street. And I begged them, like, please let me do Hercule for your show. And they're like, no. So, they're like, we'll bring you in for something else. I was like, what? No, but anyway, it's very funny. I like what they've done.
And regardless of Death Battle, what's your thoughts on the outcome of each of the Death Battle regarding Boo and Mark Satan?
If Boo and Mark Satan were to battle in a death battle?
No.
No, in that battle, Boo lost to Kirby, and in his battle,
Hercule beat Dan Hibiki, yes. That I was very happy about. How Kirby beat Boo is dumb.
It's dumb. Yeah. Not once was there ever reference me turning him into any kind of edible.
I mean, seriously, that's all I would have taken. I mean, Kirby's already like a piece of chewing gum. Boo would have just found that amusing. Popped him in his mouth, and started chewing on him, and that would have been over for Kirby as far as I'm concerned.
I'm pretty sure.
But
I'd
what was
have
their
had a new pink
explanation?
house.
What was their explanation for why Kirby?
He's got a bottomless stomach.
A bottomless stomach.
Apparently, he's gonna eat meat.
Yeah, right. Right. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If you can't, who cares about your bottomless stomach when you're in someone else's stomach?
Yeah. I ate you first.
Oh,
You can't,
yeah.
You can't eat me
Yeah.
from the inside.
Why don't you go in there and enjoy that Bardock cookie? Anyway, I just saw that the other day. It reminded me. He made the Bardock cookie. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I was saying? Bardock?
It was, yes. Right? Yeah.
Isn't that what it was?
No. Dabura.
Dabura, yeah, Dabura made the cookie. Bardock's.
I love that cookie.
Sonny was Bardock. Right?
I wish I remember my
You
name.
got one of
You
your
remember Bardock?
Cookies. I want my
You got a question? Go ahead.
right? Let's make the board into an actual cookie.
The last question. You're the last question, man. This better be a good question.
Let's make
I was
let's
wondering
make
the outcome
board into an
between
actual cookie, right?
Hercules and Yamcha, like if they fought, like what would be the outcome?
Dude, I think I could take Yamcha, man. I really do. Yeah. Right? I think Savage.
Most other people know, probably not, but
Yeah.
Yamcha, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, you gotta feel bad for Yamcha, dude, because he really does take a beating from everybody else about how bad how not good he is. Right, about how unskilled he is, yeah. So, I feel bad for Yamcha, but I'd still kick his butt. You know? Just because Hercule wouldn't want to be known as the guy who lost to Yamcha. That would ruin his reputation.
That would not be good.
All right, guys, that was the last question. Yeah, that's all we have time for. Again, give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. We'll be inside, guys, signing some autographs. Come on by the table. We'd love to have you. Come chat with us. Peace, love, happiness, and word to your mothers.